Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 26th through May 2nd. And during that time, we mostly have a waxing gibbous moon for most of the week. That is a time when we are working on those things that we've started for this cycle. We're acting on our intuition and our introspection. We are also showing that we can be flexible and make adjustments when things aren't maybe working right or the way we wanted to. We can adjust, make that adjustment, and just continue working. So keep that in mind. We then have the full moon that comes in on May 2nd. You might feel that energy the day before, during, and after if you're anything like me. That can be a time of heightened emotions when you might feel a little prone to being snappy and irritable. Remember that that is a gift for us to practice patience and calm if that's how we react to the full moon. Also, it might just be a time of heightened energy. That's what it is for me. I get a lot of things done during the full moon. You might have also changes in your sleeping patterns. So I tend to wake up in the middle of the night when the moon is full like that. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So as always, Virgo, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is don't let your past hold you back. That's a card that I really don't see that often, Virgo. So let's see what this reading might be all about. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you this week is that you learn something new. Many times as adults, we just don't take the time to do that. I might learn new things every day, but they tend to be just kind of little offhanded little things. But in order for me to really learn something, I have to set time, that time aside to do like a deep dive. So I already have a couple of things in the wings, things that I do need to stop and learn about. And I'm going to take a little time to do that this week as well. Just give yourself a couple of hours, maybe read a book, find a lecture, look things up on the internet, whatever it is you're learning about. Just take the time to really let yourself get really into it, deep into it, so that you can fully absorb whatever it is that you're learning. So that is my fun weekly reminder for you. All right, let's get into this reading, Virgo, for April 26th through May 2nd. Don't let your past hold you back. And your overall present energy right now is the Magician card. Love that. Great present energy to be in. Ready to manifest, ready to, the Magician asks you, where do you want to make changes and how do you want to proceed? Which element would you like to either make changes on, or which element will you choose to make those changes? So, it's time to think about something in your life. What needs a change and what do I need to maybe start gathering information on, so that maybe as we're working up again to after the full moon, we come back right back around to that new moon, which is always a good time to start new things. But you might just be in that phase now where you're working on things and making adjustments, and something bigger is coming to mind that you need to make a change on. So let's see what that might be for you. Your current situation right now is the Devil card. So don't let your past hold you back. Is there something in your past that involves this Devil card? This could be something that, insecurities. It could be fear of failure. It could be something that you're maybe obsessing over or being a little closed-minded or in denial about. So there, you might want to take a minute to look through your past and look for those things and see if that devil is kind of making an appearance there. This could have something to do with maybe dependency or things that are half truths, and even those half truths that you might just be telling yourself. So again, this could be, self-doubt. Sometimes this could have to do with, dependency when it comes to maybe drugs or alcohol or some other chemical that's in your life that you maybe need to go, "Oh, okay, I really need to take a look at that." So, and here's the Magician saying, look, we can make those changes. You just have to make that decision. Where do you want to make those changes? How do you want to make them? And let's get to work and buckle down on that. At the root of your situation, Four of Wands. I see this card in so many readings. At the root of the situation, maybe you've got something that's coming up for you. There's a wedding or a party or a celebration where you might be confronted with this thing. And so, it's on your mind, and now you're like, maybe I need to manage this beforehand. So think about that. If there's something coming up in your future where you may need to use, to manage that or do something, and don't let your past hold you back. If you've been unsuccessful at it in the past, don't think that is the indicator of if you can be successful in the future, because that it isn't. So even if you failed in the past, what do they say? Dust yourself off and try again, right? If at first you don't succeed. All right, what is in your recent past is the Six of Cups. So this could be something that is coming up for you that is a little bit sentimental. It could be something, again, from your past. If it's something from your childhood, you don't want to let that hold you back. It may be some attitude that you're holding on to, something that just needs to be healed from back there that is really affecting you still now. And that's everybody. We all have those issues like that we need to just heal, go back and get over so that we can move on in a healthier manner. What is on your mind this week is the Temperance card. So thank goodness, because if the devil's on your one shoulder being negative, the Temperance card is the angel on the other side. So I love it when these two are together, because it just means that there's some balance. So, what you need to be is that that calm voice of reason in the middle of both of those, because where the devil tends to be very, very negative, the angel also tends to be kind of overly positive. So sometimes it's just being the most practical way that you can be, which is right down the center, right? Just being that very centered, practical voice of reason that you need to be to accomplish whatever goal this might be for you. What is just ahead of you this week? Five of Swords. So maybe a little bit of conflict. And I just instantly, I know this card has other people in it, but I feel like this is inner conflict. And even though there's a lot of other people dealing with this, there's a lot of duos, right? And we're all dealing with that kind of duality, with that angel, that devil, and trying to choose that practical thing down the center. Some of you Virgos are going to know exactly what I'm talking about here, but I feel like, is this about self-talk? Is this a self, like an argument inside your own head, not with other people, where you kind of go back and forth, and you are listening to, you're being very positive or being very negative. So you're going to have to learn how to kind of bring all that together and just be super, super practical. Be that thing in the middle, that right down the middle path. What is in your advice position here is the Death card. That you need to let something go. You need to let something die, some old way of being. You've got to let that go. And what that does is it clears up the space for something new to fill in, right? So if you're having this argument between, maybe you don't want to do that anymore, and that's what you need to let go of. And it's almost like, make a decision. Let this magician help you. Make a decision, find the element that you need to really use to attack whatever this thing is, and be done. Be done being that way. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. It'll be different for different Virgos, but you know what I'm talking about, what it is that you do need to let go, a way of being that you need to let go of so that you can make space to be a more positive way. What is beyond your control this week? Yeah, it's kind of looking back with the Nine of Wands here, looking back at the past, and you're kind of pointing out those places. Well, here's where this affected me in a negative way. Here's where it affected me in a positive way. But I'm being this certain particular way. I really want to try to be a new person. I want to try to do something a little bit differently. So, of course, you're going to be looking back and making those evaluations. What is your secret desire? What are you trying to avoid? The Emperor. I mean, I hope this is your secret desire. This is about leadership. This is about having a clear vision of how to move forward, how to build something new. This is, it's just a person who kind of follows the rules and does things in a systematic manner that the things get done. Um, and I feel like, I mean, all of these cards together, look at them all looking directly at you. They're all looking, it's your responsibility to make these changes. Is it your secret desire to rebuild something, to let something die and rebuild something out of the ashes, for you to be that phoenix that rises out of the ashes and becomes something new? If so, this is definitely that type of energy, that builder energy that you need. You could be trying to avoid that, and that'll be the big question for Virgos this week. And there's no right or wrong answer, but make sure that you understand your answer and the reason that you're either moving forward with this or not. You may put it off. You may not do this for another year. You may not do it for another 5 years, but some of you will want to tackle this today and get it done. I mean, we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. This is a major decision for you this week. And you're not the only one. There's a lot of decision points for people. I feel like there's kind of something in the air, maybe in the astrology this week. In your outcome position, It's the King of Swords, like I was saying about being the voice of reason and doing things logically, maybe not based on feelings. The only cups in this reading are back here in the past. So that's kind of where this feeling of something develops and comes through. And you've been letting yourself be this way for a long time. And maybe it's time to just take that logical, again, center step in between the angel and the devil that are being overly negative, overly positive, and just take a very pragmatic, logical look at things and just get things done logically. What is hidden from you, Virgo, is the broken heart of the Three of Swords here. So that's good. That's a good thing. There's not going to be a lot of disappointment. I feel like whatever it is that you do decide to do, it's going to be a positive move for you. It's not, and I don't even think this completes. Tarot readings are for a week, but life certainly doesn't happen in a week. I feel like this is something ongoing for you, but don't let your past hold you back. Whatever it is that you want to change about your life, change about yourself, go ahead and get those things accomplished and know that you can do it, even if you were not successful in the past. Again, you want to brush yourself off and get back up on the horse, as they say. All right, Soul Oracle deck for Virgo this week. The advice here says to tune out distractions. Sometimes it's okay to just focus on you for a little bit. Um, sometimes that's hard to do too, but see if you can. Like I was saying about learning something, tune out the distractions and learn something new. And that could be totally related to this week too. If there's something that you need to learn, even how to be a new way, because you want to let some old way go and be that phoenix again that rises up out of the ashes. All right, in self-care, Virgo, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care for the week. Self-care for Virgo, and the card that you get is the card called Growth. Evolution starts when you leave your comfort zone. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah, leave your comfort zone. Let whatever this is go and be uncomfortable with the emperor that's going to build something totally new. And who really sits down and understands, okay, well, I need to do this and this in order to get to this place, right? We don't know where we're going unless we kind of set goals and think about where it is that we're headed. So make sure that you take a little time to do that this week, Virgo. So Virgo, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your own life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know if anything here resonated or if you had questions. I'd be happy to answer those questions for you. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe, I really appreciate you doing that. It does help my channel. So many of you have, and thank you so much for doing that for me. But anyway, come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next time. So once again, Virgo, thank you so much. Good luck with this, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.